Voyager 1, a NASA space probe launched in 1977, has been drifting through the silent dark. But now, 25 billion kilometers away, it's sending something we've never seen before. And what scientists saw shocked them. This could be something the world is not ready for. But before we dive deep into today's topic, subscribe to our channel for the latest discoveries in the world of science. Now, let's begin. The secret signal. Billions of kilometers away, this robotic spacecraft discovered something so shocking that NASA's headquarters were stunned. It all started as faint irregularities in the plasma data. There were fluctuations that were usually ignored, but these were too patterned to be deemed as a random signal or noise coming afar. At first, NASA's Deep Space Network thought this was just interference. But as hours passed, the signal started getting strong, repeating with mathematical precision that wasn't just a coincidence. Voyager 1 is officially humanity's farthest spacecraft. And this probe was detecting a plasma particle unlike anything we've seen in recorded cosmic history. Its instrument, primitive by modern standards, began sketching the invisible music of the universe with waves rising and falling in beautiful sequences, as if something huge out there was pulsing on purpose. So, when the analysis reached mission control in Pasadena, silence fell into the room. The data wasn't even corrupted. It was completely organized. And there, NASA made a shocking decision. They stopped the uplink. For people who don't understand what halting uplink means, it simply means one thing, and that is to stop sending commands. Voyager, at this point, entered an unknown zone, and engineers weren't sure how it might react. Some even feared that transmitting further signals could also disrupt whatever interaction was taking place in that particular region. Moreover, some scientists also believed that the probe might already be responding to a field or frequency that human physics has not yet discovered. But here's the real shocker. This wasn't the first anomaly that Voyager had encountered. However, this one was surely different. The thing is, before this, all the signals that Voyager got were mechanical, but this one was cosmic. The strange plasma oscillations followed no known solar or galactic rhythm. And for every spike the Voyager recorded, an echo appeared to describe boundaries with layers of energy surrounding our solar system. The team then realized that they might be watching Voyager cross into an entirely new region of interstellar space, or touch something that wasn't supposed to be there in the first place. Now that we have the basics out of the way, let's talk about what's happening out there in the universe. Hearing the universe? To understand what Voyager has discovered, we must remember what it is listening to in the first place. Its plasma wave instrument doesn't see or take a picture. Rather, it's made to hear. It measures vibrations that are traveling through the charged gas between stars. And when the solar storm sends shock waves across the cosmos, Voyager's antenna translates them into frequencies which show us the literal hum of the universe. But this time, the hum changes key. Instead of the soft chorus of the background plasma, Voyager recorded tones that shifted from 300 to 2000 hertz. Clear, defined notes, forming patterns that repeated for hours. It is as if deep space has started singing in a language we don't fully understand, or has been sending signals that are way outside of what modern-day technology can comprehend. Scientists compared the structure to seismic activity, but it wasn't even coming from the planets. It was coming from the fabric of interstellar plasma itself. Now, some physicists also believe that Voyager might have detected the outer skin of the local bubble. In essence, the local bubble is a vast cavity carved by ancient supernovae millions of years ago. Others say that the repeated waves might just be signatures of magnetic filaments. These are gigantic cosmic cables that are stretched between stars. But whatever it was, the Voyager had already collapsed against it, and now the data that it gave us opens up a new possibility of research for NASA and other space companies. Data turning strange. It was late 2022 when Voyager began sending incomplete telemetry packets that people at NASA didn't really understand. At first, some segments of binary code seemed illogical, but then, it became logical and consistent again. Engineers thought that the radiation might have damaged its aging memory, but when they compared the errors with plasma readings, something strange happened. The glitches were exactly like plasma frequency bursts. The probe's surroundings were influencing its internal systems, and something was surely out there interfering with the Voyager's electronics in a way no other known solar radiation could explain. Then, by early 2023, telemetry suggested to us that there was a complete change in the ambient density. This is the plasma density, which was normally a slow, predictable measure. Now, it has spiked nearly 40%. It was like the Voyager had slammed into an invisible wall that we couldn't see because we were too far away, with no means of seeing it. According to NASA, this is the stagnation zone. The stagnation zone is a boundary where the solar wind, racing outwards for billions of miles, simply stopped. This shouldn't be possible, though. You see, for decades, physicists assumed that space beyond the border between the solar and interstellar influence was smooth, quiet, and thin. However, according to this one Voyager journey, it proved the opposite. The void beyond our sun is alive and has structure, pressure, and sound. After this, the anomaly deepened. In 2024, the probe detected a strange rhythmic signal buried in the plasma noise. This had a periodic spike that repeated every 12 minutes. At first, the scientists thought it was an instrument glitch until Voyager 2, still several billion kilometers close to home, started recording faint harmonics of the same pattern. Two separate spacecraft, in different regions of space, detecting harmonized pulses. That's just not a possible coincidence, is it? By now, no known natural mechanism could explain it. The waves weren't solar, galactic, or cosmic ray included. They appeared to be resonating. It is basically a standing wave at the boundary of our solar system. For the first time, NASA's team began to wonder, what if space itself was resonating? But this would change everything we know about interstellar space. At this point, the implications were baffling. It could mean that interstellar space isn't a silent void but a medium, capable of transmitting vibrations like water, air, or glass. If that's true, it could redefine everything from cosmic communication to the structure of the universe itself. And before we get into the shocking new data that Voyager revealed, subscribe to our channel as we explore stories like these every week. Voyager's data. Voyager's new data forced scientists to rethink how the universe is built. Just imagine the cosmic web, this huge, interconnected structure of galaxies, filaments, and voids. Voyager's plasma readings hinted that even on smaller scales, the same architecture might exist. These are electric filaments weaving through interstellar gas, guiding matter and energy like currents in the ocean. These filaments act as a boundary. Basically, media where magnetic fields and plasma densities fluctuate. Thanks to the Voyager's instruments, by luck and endurance, they may have touched one of these membranes or mediums. When they were converted into spectrograms, the plasma waves displayed repeating forms, almost like fingerprints. Each region Voyager traversed has its own unique signature. Some of these signatures were smooth, others were rough, while others pulsed like heartbeats. Donald Gurnett, the late physicist who designed Voyager's plasma wave system, once said that when we listen to space, we're hearing the shape of the universe. Now, that phrase feels like it's real. And Voyager might be recording the very texture of space, which is a single piece of evidence that the space isn't empty. It is a vast, vibrating ocean of energy. But has anything like this happened? You see, this isn't the first time a deep space probe has uncovered something so bizarre. In the 1,970 seconds, Pioneer 10 and 11 experienced unexplained deceleration, the famous Pioneer Anomaly. For decades, scientists debated whether dark matter or an unknown force was at work. Eventually, it was traced to a head radiation from their power sources. But with Voyager, the case is different. The data doesn't show any deceleration, but it shows interaction, a two-way exchange between spacecraft and environment. That's something new. It also recalls the WOW. The 1,977 signal was a mysterious burst of radio energy that lasted 72 seconds and never repeated. Some researchers now speculate that plasma structures, like those Voyager is mapping, could be responsible for such signals. Cosmic harmonics, mistaken for alien transmissions. But if that's true, Voyager isn't just mapping deep space, it's decoding how the universe communicates. But so far, we haven't talked about why NASA then halted the uplink. Why NASA halted the uplink? In early 2025, as the pattern intensified, NASA made a rare call. It was to stop all non-essential transmissions. For the first time in decades, humanity's farthest ambassador fell silent from the Earth's side. But the reason is interesting. Scientists feared that our radio commands would interfere with the natural signal Voyager was detecting. Every instruction beamed to the probe travels 22 hours at light speed and could distort the delicate plasma environment it's measuring. NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab also confirmed in a quiet press statement that routine uplink operations were paused to preserve data integrity. In simple terms, they didn't want to disrupt the pattern of signals they were receiving. This is one of the few times in human history that our communication was stopped so that we could hear the universe speak for itself. After halting the uplink, weeks later, as the team processed the unbroken data stream, a new revelation emerged. The plasma frequencies weren't random. Rather, they aligned with the harmonic ratios that were found in quantum mechanics and atomic structures. These same mathematical relationships that define electrons and protons were seen to echo in the waves. Voyager recorded billions of kilometers away. While the discovery doesn't prove any intelligence, it does suggest order, deep natural order, incorporated into the very fabric of interstellar space. And interestingly enough, this could be more important than any silent message. It means that the universe, even though it seems silent, follows a hidden rhythm, one that we are beginning to hear. Voyager's legacy. Launched in 1977, Voyager 1 was never meant to even live this long. The main computer has less processing power than a modern smartwatch. Yet, it continues to help us rewrite science. The thing that's interesting about Voyager is that it has survived radiation storms, cosmic dust, and temperatures that are near absolute zero. In 1990, it also sent us the pale blue dot, the iconic image of Earth as a single pixel in a cosmic sunbeam. Since then, its cameras have slept, but its ears have always been listening. Almost 50 years later, it's still given us one final revelation that the sound of the cosmos is breathing. Every byte it sends takes a full day to reach Earth, and today, Voyager carries the golden record. Greetings in 55 languages, songs from Bach to Chuck Berry, the laughter of a baby, and the sounds of rain and thunder. It was our message to whoever might have it. But perhaps, just think about it. The universe has been answering us all along. Subscribe for more mysteries across the universe and news about the latest and greatest space inventions.